Welcome back. So, with Dead by Daylight dropping hints that supposedly we're gonna have Darth Vader, how do I feel? How do I feel about Darth Vader being added? Not the biggest Star Wars fan, I guess, but here's a First Order hat. Yeah, from the that's anyways. So, yeah, dude, like, how do I feel? How do I feel? Oh my gosh, my hair's so long. You see this? My hair is way too fucking long, dude. I need a haircut. Anyways, so, Vader being added to Dead by Daylight, they're just gonna fucking add anybody to it. Actually, no, here's the thing. Remember my rant about, Five Nights at Freddy's where I completely hated on it? Yeah, I still hate on it, but I do like Matthew Lillard is in it. But that's beside the point. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is Vader being in Dead by Daylight. And yes, that is one scary motherfucker. Like, if you have, like, read the comics at all, if you watch the movies, especially Rogue One, like, Vader is, like, menacing, right? The fact that he force chokes people and um, his powers are just like, so you'll be able to force choke people in Dead by Daylight. I mean, he's in that menacing suit. He has a lightsaber. They probably won't give him a lightsaber in Dead by Daylight. But the fact is, Matthew Cote was talking to Disney, and this isn't their first Disney crossover. This will be their second. The first one being Aliens. So the fact that they're talking to Disney, the whole idea probably was they probably didn't want to add Vader initially, and they're trying, and that's Disney's part deal. Disney's deal is like, hey, you add Vader in here, and we'll give you like the Predator, you know. So that's probably could be like part of the deal. But Vader's fucking scary. When people say, oh, like Star Wars isn't scary, it shouldn't be in there. There's actually a story about Imperial troopers and on a Star Destroyer that they after uncover a like a virus that turns them into zombies. I haven't read the whole story, but I've seen pictures of it and I've seen the synopsis. It's pretty terrifying. I always wanted to read that story because I'm like fucking Star Wars and zombies. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And the dark side is actually pretty damn scary when it comes down to it. Especially there, if you look into more of the darker Sith and not just like what you see in the movies. But yeah, and I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I wouldn't say I know everything about Star Wars because I haven't read most of the books. I haven't read most of the comics. There's a whole ton of lore out there. I know Disney kind of retconned a lot of it, but there is a ton of lore. My favorite Star Wars movie is a Star Wars movie. No, my favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One. People are like, why would you say that? But followed up by Star Wars Episode 5 because the Battle of Hoth, who doesn't like that? Empire Strikes Back is fucking amazing, and it's probably the darkest one of the originals. So it's like the Empire's winning. I really enjoy that movie because of Hoth. But Rogue One, I love Scarif, and I love KSO2 and Rogue One. But moving on from that, like at the end of Rogue One, it just shows like Darth Vader is just this menacing force, and like people are running away from him at the very end of the movie, and he's unstoppable, and he's killing people left and right. On the rebel ship, right before they Leia escapes and everything, and it's just like one after another, like, oh my god, they're trying to hand the data drive to the next person, and he's just going through them, and then you just see that menacing last shot of him in the doorway, and as the escape ship, leaves, which is perfect setup for the next movie. But yeah, it just like shows how intimidating and gnarly and scary Vader is. So I think he'd fit very well into Dead by Daylight. Now, talking about all the stuff like Dead by Daylight's not scary anymore, but they do have their jump scare moments. I believe like Dead by Daylight is the Fortnite of horror, and it's loosely horror-esque like stuff with more crossovers. There's supposed to be like an anime of coming over and like, oh, anime's not scary, but It's an anime about a cat apocalypse. When you get instead of when you get bit by zombies, you know, you turn into a zombie. It's you get touched by cats and you turn into a cat, and they're cats, and everyone's turning into cats because it's a cat apocalypse. It's a different take on a zombie apocalypse. It's a cat apocalypse. That's supposed to coming supposedly some way in some form to Dead by Daylight the game. Probably just closed for the survivors. It should be really interesting on that way, but like I said, Vader's a scary motherfucker, so like him being added to DBD, it's like I could see that coming very soon. There's been a lot of talks on Twitter about it. He is, like I said, one scary motherfucker. Yeah, the evidence is out there. This is Chihirocherrybaby. Thank you for watching my reactionary video, and I will catch you all later in the fog and on the battlefield. Peace.